No Caitlin Clark, no problem. No Sophie Cunningham, no problem. No head coach Stephanie White, have no fear. The final boss, Austin Kelly, is here. The Chicago Sky, we came into your building and we just, from pillar to post, smacked you guys.
Last night at the United Center, the Indiana Fever came to play, and they made a statement. With Caitlin Clark sidelined by a quad injury, Cunningham out, and Coach White unavailable due to a personal
For AK, for Steph. Another one.
matter, the odds were stacked against the Fever. But the squad said, "We don't need excuses, we've got heart." Kelsey Mitchell stepped up with 17 points. Lexie Hull stayed red hot. New signing Aari McDonald ran the offense like a seasoned pro. And let's not forget Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard, major contributions on both ends of the court. The result: the Fever didn't just beat Chicago, they obliterated them. By 27 points. On their home court. In
Yes, sir.
Great job. All right, great job.
Thanks, Daddy.
It started for us on the defensive end. We set the tone from the jump and never looked back. All right. Their starters, 8 for 29 from the field.
Hell yeah.
Hell of a job. Great attention to detail. That's less than 30%. We held them 32% for the
front of their own fans. Angel Reese and the Sky were left stunned, completely humiliated. If you're riding with Indiana, drop a comment below. I've got the Fever. Let's go Fever. This was supposed to be a disaster waiting to happen for the Indiana Fever. June 7th. Their biggest test of the season.
Well, Fever versus Sky isn't much of a rivalry, at least if you go by the results, because the Fever have dominated the Sky, and I guess you could say the Sky is falling, at least in the standings and around Chicago, considering the situation with
Caitlin Clark had already missed 3 straight games with a left quad strain. And the team. They were struggling without her magic. 2 losses in 3 games. No momentum. And now, they had to walk into hostile territory. Chicago. No Clark. No Cunningham. And then, boom. Another hit. Stephanie White, gone. A personal matter kept the head coach from making the trip. Now it was up to Austin Kelly. He'd been by White's side since 2012, that he knew the playbook like the back of his hand. But this was his first time in the spot.
Austin Kelly filling in for Stephanie White. I got a feeling. Austin Kelly looks like a head coach on the side. Folks, there was none of this. Austin Kelly looked like the final boss on the sideline watching over the Indiana Fever team. His posture, his presence, yeah, head coach type stuff, you know what it is. The assistants standing up, giving me some energy, giving me some, yep, I liked what I saw tonight.
Spotlight. The pressure was crushing. The United Center. Over 21,000 seats. Every single one packed. It was the first WNBA game ever played in this iconic NBA arena. And Chicago fans were hungry. They were ready for payback. The Sky had been circling this game since that brutal 35-point beatdown in Indianapolis. Prime time on CBS. This was their revenge game. And with Clark out, who was left? Critics had been whispering it for months. Take away Caitlin Clark's 19.
There she is right there signing autographs in the visiting arenas building. Look at all the Fever fans there. I mean, seriously. So, Caitlin Clark, same thing. Taking pictures, signing autographs. In case you're wondering, it was
Points and 10 assists. And what do you really have? The Sky thought they had the answer. Back-to-back wins over Dallas had them feeling confident. They were ready to feast on a wounded Fever. Austin Kelly walked into the biggest coaching moment of his career. Same offensive scheme. Same system. But now every call, every timeout, every substitution, was his. The leadership vacuum was real. With Clark gone, someone had to step up. And here's what nobody saw coming. Sometimes, when you lose your star
game, obviously you're stepping in for Steph, but what are the feelings coaching a game in this arena?
Oh, it's I mean, you grow up watching the Bulls and you see Michael Jordan's, jersey and Scotty's jersey sitting up there. It's a surreal moment. But I think the message for us is the same. We want to continue to build that consistency on both ends of the floor. And it's another opportunity for us to do that here.
You find your heart. Sometimes, adversity doesn't break you. Sometimes, it reveals exactly what you're made of. This game, it could have been a collapse. But instead, it became a statement. When your best player goes down, someone has to fill that massive void, and who steps up in that moment tells you everything about a team's character. Kelsey Mitchell walked onto that court knowing all eyes were on her. The pressure was real. Clark was out.
This time steps right through the heart of the defense and blows by Chicago. The wins off of Lake Michigan. Loses Atkins, step back mini, knocks it down. Oh, the connection to Howard. How about the finish from Mitchell?
And she may be the quickest guard in the league with the ball in her hands.
And now, it was Mitchell's turn to carry the torch. She'd been up and down this season, averaging around 15 points, a dip from last year's 19. Critics wondered, can she handle the spotlight without Caitlin Clark drawing all the heat? Would she fold, or rise? The answer came quickly. From the opening tip, Kelsey Mitchell was locked in. She moved without the ball like a seasoned vet. She didn't try to be Caitlin Clark. She just focused on being the best version of herself. And it was beautiful to watch. She attacked the basket with confidence.
Here's Mitchell trying to attack Van Lith. Will slow it down a bit. This time steps right through the heart of the defense and blows by Chicago. The wins off of Lake Michigan. Timeout Sky as Indiana has built a 17-point advantage.
Threes when Chicago gave her space, found open teammates when the double came. This was veteran leadership at its finest. She finished with a team-high 17 points and led a balanced offense Chicago could not contain. But Mitchell wasn't alone. Lexie Hull continued her breakout campaign with another clutch performance. She went perfect from deep, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, and finished with the highest plus-minus of the game. Hull has become the reliable shooter and lockdown defender this team desperately needed. And let's talk about Aaliyah Boston. This was the two-way game fans have been waiting for. 11 points.
20 in the 3-game absence for Caitlin Clark. Leads the league in field goal percentage and shows you right there.
The intentionality to get Aaliyah Boston the basketball.
5 rebounds. 5 assists. Oh, and she tied her career high with 5 blocks. She owned the paint. Altering shots, cleaning the glass, anchoring the defense. This was pure dominance. The Fever played with purpose. 20 assists on 27 made shots. The ball movement was crisp. The offense flowing. Chicago realized this wasn't a team weakened by injury. This was a deeper, more dangerous version of Indiana. This wasn't about just one star.
We won the boards, all right? And, they're a second chance points team, all right? And we won that area as well. Taking away their strengths was something that we did a great job of, all right?
Just extremely proud of y'all. We stayed locked in. We stayed together. We executed the scout at a very high level. Just multiple levels of effort. It's everything that we've asked of you today, we put it in there. And from now, again, stacking days, building on those moments where we're stringing those possessions together, right? Building on those great possessions on defense and on offense. Great, hell of a job, y'all. High level. Good job, y'all.
It was about veterans refusing to back down. It was about trust. About chemistry, about heart. Mitchell. Hull. Boston. They shared the load. They stepped into the spotlight. And they delivered. But here's where it gets really interesting sometimes. The most important addition to your team isn't the one everyone talks about. Aari McDonald. Signed on June 1st. Just a late-season hardship contract. Nobody expected her to do much more than provide depth. But she wasn't just a backup.
Aari McDonald for three. McDonald had a. Aari McDonald with a steal. McDonald had a. Aari McDonald drawing offensive fouls. McDonald had a. Folks, what a glorious game. What a glorious game.
She became the engine. Running the offense without Caitlin Clark. That was supposed to be impossible. The point guard spot is the brain of any offense. You need someone who reads defenses in a split second, calls the sets, and never panics. Aari McDonald had been in Indiana's locker room for, what? 6 days. Most said, there's no way she can handle this. From the opening tip, McDonald looked like she'd been running this system for years, not weeks. She controlled the tempo, made every right read.
But both teams facing a little bit of adversity, having certain players out or not at full capacity.
McDonald, a huge triple in the corner. Mitchell, patient in the corner, flips it up top. Boston, other side. McDonald, another three. I'm loving it.
Executed under the brightest lights. The box score, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Nice, but it doesn't tell the real story. Because when Indiana needed a bucket, McDonald drilled 3 clutch triples. She finished at the rim against bigger bodies. And on defense, active hands, quick feet, she disrupted everything Chicago tried to run. But here's where it gets really interesting sometimes. The most important addition to your team isn't the one everyone talks
about. 5 meetings this season between the two teams. McDonald pokes it away, then tapped up down the floor, and McDonald will slow things down. McDonald for 3, cashes in.
Survival mode looks really fun.
About Aari McDonald. Signed on June 1st. Just a late-season hardship contract. Nobody expected her to do much more than provide depth. But she wasn't just a backup. She became the engine. Running the offense without Caitlin Clark. That was supposed to be impossible. The point guard spot is the brain of any offense. You need someone who reads defenses in a split second, calls the sets, and never panics. Aari McDonald had been in Indiana's locker room for, what? 6 days. Most said, there's no way she can handle this. From the opening tip, McDonald looked like she'd been running this system for years, not weeks. She controlled the tempo, made every...
Lex, 500 points today. 750 rebounds. And just a hell of the effort, y'all. I said I wanted y'all to make them feel us. They felt us. Yeah, nobody in there on their team had double digit scores. Oh yeah. That's the toughness.
Every right read. Executed under the brightest lights. The box score, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Nice, but it doesn't tell the real story. Because when Indiana needed a bucket, McDonald drilled 3 clutch triples. She finished at the rim against bigger bodies. And on defense, active hands, quick feet, she disrupted everything Chicago tried to run. With McDonald at the helm, the Fever initiated sets higher on the floor. That stretched Chicago's defense, giving Kelsey Mitchell extra lanes to attack. Lexie hole cleaner looks from deep. Aaliyah Boston the room to bully inside. The Sky had zero scouting report for this wrinkle. Rotations were a mess all night. Austin Kelly's post.
The Dallas Wings must really, really stink, because those are the 2 wins that the Chicago Sky have this year, and the Fever have absolutely blown the doors off of them in their matchups this season, including this time around without Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese just 2 of 7 from the floor, only 4 points. She's shooting like 31% from the floor on the year. The Minnesota Lynx own the Chicago Sky's draft pick.
Game quote said it best. Our best defense tonight started with our offense. And McDonald set that tone for all 40 minutes. The newest Fever guard became the catalyst for Indiana's most impressive win of the season, proof that high basketball IQ can outweigh familiarity. Proof that real contenders grow when stars go down. Indiana didn't just survive without Caitlin Clark. They thrived, with their newest weapon steering the ship. Remember May 17th in Indianapolis. Angel Reese tried to rough up Caitlin Clark, result, a 35-point Fever blowout.
We got the lead and we just didn't look back. The Indiana Fever destroying the pathetic Chicago Sky, the sad Chicago Sky, the distraught Chicago Sky, the mess of a franchise known as the Chicago Sky. Tyler Marsh, salute. Tyler Marsh, you see what a real head coach looked like there, Tyler Marsh? You see, folks, Austin Kelly didn't even call a timeout. She said, ladies, play.
Clark triple-double, Sky in shambles. June 7th was supposed to be Chicago's revenge prime time. Sold out United Center. Their moment, right? Instead, they suffered an even uglier fate, 27-point beatdown. Chicago shot 32.1% from the field. Just 20% from 3. Not one Sky player reached double figures. Added up, 62-point combined margin over 2 games. That's not a rivalry, that's ownership.
Bring it out. That's big time. That's all you guys. That's all you guys. Great job. Hell of a job.
Here we go. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Fever, 45.8% FG, 40.7% from deep, 11-3 Sky, 32.1% FG, 20% from deep, 0 players in double digits. Indiana put on a clinic in team basketball while Chicago chased shadows. So whether Caitlin Clark suits up or not, the message is clear: the Fever are deeper, smarter, and tougher than anyone thought. Their heart is bigger than their injury report. And after 2 straight blowouts, the gap between Indiana and Chicago, it's a canyon. Drop depth stars in the comments if you believe this Fever squad is the real deal. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a breakdown. The Fever just turned adversity into dominance. Stay tuned, the story's only getting better. Flawless ball movement. Every Indiana possession looked effortless. Meanwhile, Chicago was in disarray, bricking shots, coughing up turnovers, looking outclassed on both ends. 19 Sky turnovers turned into easy Fever buckets. Angel Reese held to 4 points on 2 for 7 shooting. 12 boards, sure, but her offensive impact was 0. When the buzzer sounded, the party was on, players drenching acting coach Austin Kelly in a Gatorade shower. Caitlin Clark, still in street clothes, standing, cheering, yelling, "Get Emma water." Pure, unfiltered joy. Across the floor. Long faces. Courtney Vandersloot left in the first quarter with an injury, and the Sky never recovered that in front of 21,000 home fans. They witnessed a complete domination, again. Revenge? Served colder than a Chicago winter, and it tasted perfect for Indiana. This wasn't just a win, it was confirmation. Indiana owns this rivalry. Whether Clark plays or not, the Fever are a championship-caliber squad. Depth, heart, chemistry, that's what wins titles. Kelsey Mitchell proved she can lead under pressure. Lexie Hull keeps drilling daggers. Aari McDonald turned a hardship deal into a game-changing role. 2025 just got a lot scarier for the rest of the league, because this team can dominate even without its supernova. If you're riding with Indiana, drop "I've got the fever" in the comments. Smash like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a breakdown. Tap the video on screen for more Fever fire, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go Fever!